GTA Math, what's up? Today we're going to complete the square and solve an equation in a process. So let's just get straight into it. The first thing I notice is that there's a 2 in front of this x squared. So whenever you're completing the square, you got to make sure that the coefficient in front of the highest degree, which is going to be x squared, it has to be 1. So I'm going to divide everything by 2. So we got x squared minus 2x equals negative 3/2. This is a long problem, so please bear with me. This is a long problem, but we're going to get through it. So now that we're here, we're going to actually have to work on our first step towards completing the square. So we're going to take this b term right here, and we're going to just solve it on the side. We're going to say b equals negative 2, which is the coefficient in front of 2, well, the b term, and we're going to divide it by 2, and most importantly, we're going to square it. And we're going to be left with 1 when we're finished. Because 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. And there's a negative in front. And then we square it, we end up with 1. So we're going to be left with x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals negative 3. And then we're going to do the plus 1 again. Negative 3/2. Excuse me. Now we're going to factor. So we're going to take this b term here, and we're going to divide it by 2. And we're going to end up with, excuse me, we're not going to do that because that's a terrible idea. We just did it. I'm a little off today, guys. Bear with me. But what we're going to do next is we're going to factor this. So when I divide this b term by 2, we're left with negative 1. So when we factor this, we're going to have it rewritten as x minus 1 squared. Because this binomial multiplied by itself makes this. And then we're going to have equals negative 3/2 plus 1. We're going to simplify this on the side. Negative 3/2 plus 1 over 1. I'm going to multiply both of these by 2. Well, not both of them, but this. We're going to end up with negative 3/2 plus 2 over 2. And that's going to turn into negative 1/2. So after we simplify this side, we're going to end up with negative 1/2. You might have thought we were finished, but boy, we are not. So since this is squared and we're solving this equation, now we have to use the square root property to get x by itself. Fun. So when we use the square root property on a squared function, this cancels out. So now we're left with x minus 1 equals, on this side we're going to be left with a plus or minus function, and then we're going to still be trapped with this negative 1/2. So here's where the fun starts. Because now we have a complex number situation. I'm pretty sure it's everybody's favorite. It's not, but we're going to get through it. So the next thing we're going to do is simplify this expression right here. We're going to just simplify it. Simplify. I was not trying to be funny, but I'm going to take this and work on it over here. And then we'll keep going with the rest of the problem. So when you think about imaginary numbers, just know that this -1/2 can be rewritten as -1 times 1/2. And we can split this up even more and just say, okay, well, -1 times the square root of 1/2. And this turns into I, because the square root of -1 is I. It's just one of the rules that you have to follow in math. And then we're going to simplify this 1/2. This is the same thing as the square root of 1 over the square root of 2. So all I'm doing is just breaking everything down to its smallest component. So in the end, we can just mush everything together and simplify. And we'll just solve for x. So the square root of 1 is going to be 1. And then we have root 2. It's going to be on the bottom. And we're going to have to rationalize this. Yeah, not super exciting, but hey. So I got to add space. Because you know how that is. This is my computer works with me. Wow. That's crazy. It's a yeet. I guess not. Okay, for sure. That's how it is. So today, the universe is choosing not to work with Kyle Brown. But we're gonna get through this problem anyway. So this is gonna turn into this. So I'm gonna add x minus 1 equals plus or minus, which is now gonna be I times root 2 over 2. And since we have a plus or minus sign in front, okay, so now we working, like that's how it is. All this we done been through in life, that's crazy. So now we back. Oh man, that was wild. So now that we had this right here, we're gonna simplify it. So we're gonna say x minus 1 equals plus root 2 over 2, and then we're gonna put the I in the back. And now we're gonna add this 1. My writing is off today, guys. I apologize. So we're gonna end up with 1 plus root 2 over 2. And then we're gonna put the I back here. And then we're gonna have our OR statement, because it's plus or minus. We're gonna do this other one in a different color. We're gonna do red. Now we have x minus 1 equals negative root 2 over 2 I. We're gonna add 1, and now we're gonna end up with x equals 1 minus root 2 over 2 I. So really the answer is this. I'm gonna just circle it in the center. Here you are. I promise you this is a 2. This is the final answer. And I'm gonna highlight it too. So that way at the very end, if somebody wants to check their work, because I was being obnoxious trying to get this page to give me more space, they can shortcut it. This is it. Man, I'm so sorry about all the technical difficulties, but I try to leave them in there so people understand I'm human. I don't want to cut straight to just clipping everything and making it seem like I don't make mistakes, because I definitely do when solving these problems, and I feel like that might give people some confidence doing these, because you're not gonna get all of these problems right immediately, and even the errors that I'm making with doing the videos. So just bear with me. It's part of the journey. Please don't crucify me, because I know it's easy to. But I hope you enjoyed this. Let's continue to learn, love, and grow together on this channel. I appreciate everything. So take care, everybody.